is behind. All that we see is RK is behind there. So requesting everyone to take your seats. Welcome to this meet of 2025. BeTCA has been doing this wonderful work in the field of technology. And in Belgaum, I'm sure most of you have heard, there are a lot of activities that happen. Okay? Belgaum is a place where we have a lot of homegrown entrepreneurs. They've done some wonderful work. Though this meet is not just about looking at what have we done until in the past, also to look forward with excitement. What is in store for us in the future? We have some wonderful panelists who have come. They're going to share their experiences with us. The way technology has evolved in India has been fabulous. To begin with, India, if you really ask me, we started as suppliers of technologists to the world. And when the world recognized that India is good at supplying technologists, these same technologists learned technology and got the technology back to India. So from technologists, we went into technology. Though wealth is where domain is. And that's what's happening to India in the last 10 years. The more domain knowledge we create in technology, we'll create more wealth in India. This is what we are going to talk about today. Of course, not about wealth creation. This is about how do we develop our own domain. And if it was that easy, anybody could have done it. But what's the fun of doing something which is very easy? Okay? It's tough, though it means a lot to these passionate entrepreneurs who are sitting here, and they have done some fabulous job. So they say, in tech space, speed is the currency, and innovation is the value. We will hear our own panelists in a moment. We want you to listen to them, get inspired by their journeys. Also, it's important to know what BeTCA is doing here in Belgaum. Because we want our clan to grow, and you will see what we have done until now. So I'm going to invite Gajendra, if you can help us understand what's BeTCA doing and what are we doing to help Belgaum.
Thank you, Amit. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of BeTCA, I welcome you all again. Just to give you a short intro about what BeTCA is, right? So BeTCA stands for Belagavi Technology Company Association. It was registered in 2023. Idea was to have it as not-for-profit organization so that we contribute to the city and enhance our tech journey, not just in Karnataka, but in India as well, right? To begin with, we first started meeting individually. Again, we wanted to have one common platform where we thought we could invite all the tech professionals, startups, academia, and government bodies, right? So that was where we thought of having BeTCA. And to take it further, we started doing a lot of monthly meets. So idea was to have everything under one roof. That's what BeTCA stands for. We have one point of contact for government, for academia, to take our tech journey from Belgaum to global. Yeah, next slide. So, as I said, in 2023, we were just 13 people. Today, we stand about 62 members, active 62 members that are part of our BeTCA's community. So this was just a glimpse. This is just a glimpse of last year's tech meet, 2024. This year, it's all again themed on tech for human impact. Yeah, this is something very interesting. We had invited DST Secretary, Government of India, who was here. He was very surprised to know that there's a tech ecosystem in Belgaum, who are doing wonderful work. They are building routers, they are building electric scooters, they are building hardware systems, everything in Belgaum. So that was one platform where we could communicate what Belgaum as a whole stands for, right? And it was well communicated to Department of Science and Technology Secretary, Sri Abhay Karandikar. Later, so right now, if you look at Belgaum's landscape, we don't have dedicated IT park, right? With that intention, we started interacting with policymakers, bureaucrats, so that there's something for Belgaum. Right now, there are a lot of initiatives, but we don't see any active initiatives for Belgaum. That is where BeTCA met MLA, who is also chairman of Kionix, Bache Gowda. So he also helped us stating that he is going to have something in the town. Maybe down the line, we could have one IT park in the city. And yeah, just to continue on that conversation, we also interacted with MP Sri Jagdish Shettar and IAS Sri Salman Roshan, right? So this was again on the tech park. We want to have dedicated IT park in Belgaum so that all the startups can have a dedicated infrastructure. Later, this was something interesting. We identified there are a lot of problem statements which industries have, and they don't know how to solve it. With that intention, we thought, let us all unite together. We threw an event where we invited industry bodies, right, from BCCI, Chamber of Commerce, and there were about 10 startups that presented their idea to them, wherein they could talk what they're building. And instead of industries looking for solutions outside, now they are taking support from the startups that could easily solve it for them. So that is going to be our regular event, which we are going to do with industries. And if you look at the gap right now, right? So if you look at engineering students, once they graduate, they always think that they want to go back to metro cities. They don't have clue that there are a bunch of IT companies or tech companies in Belgaum. With that, we started job portal, which is again part of our BeTCA handle, where you can, if you are looking for dedicated tech roles, it's easily available, right? So that's one of the initiatives. And a lot of startups, if you talk about, right? If they are from tech background, they might be good with technology. If they are from marketing background, they might be good with marketing. But as a founder, you need 360-degree support, right? That means you need to understand finance, you need to understand tech, you need to understand marketing. So with that intention, we started doing a lot of knowledge sharing sessions where we invite industry speaker who can come down and deliver a talk on, let's say, PR, marketing, fundraising. So that's our frequent event, what we do. And monthly meet. So as I said, we have about 60 plus members. We meet every month once, that is first Saturday of every month in one of the BeTCA members' office, or we meet somewhere else. So that's been a constant initiative, what we are doing as a BeTCA. Yeah, that's just the gist about BeTCA. If you find us interesting, I would request you guys to just become a patron at BeTCA. And in case if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Yeah, thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much. It takes a while to build an organization. It begins small, but I'm sure it's going to grow big. We would want to thank our sponsors. We have platinum sponsors, Viable Labs. We also have our gold sponsors, Aksha, and we have our silver sponsor, Storycast. Because for any such event, you need the moolah. Okay? And by the way, they have been part of this journey. They are our own members. And they're very passionate for this cause of BeTCA. In a moment now, we are going to have a panel discussion. How many founders here, people who have started their own business? It doesn't matter if it is tech or otherwise. Oh, wow. Keep your hand up. A message from all the founders to those who have not raised their hand. These are all those people who started a company to avoid a boss. And then hired 50 people to tell them what to do. Okay. But it takes spine. A founder's life is very different. It's a roller coaster ride. Ask them what is the fun part of it. And it's a consistent ride that's what they enjoy the most. Okay? We are going to have a panel discussion. In this panel discussion, I'm going to invite Akash, Kawalji, and Adil. Adil is going to be our moderator. Let me invite you on stage.
Chemistry of our breath lies in VOCs, volatile organic compounds. These are tiny, gaseous molecules which originate from within us, from our lungs, blood, and cells. Every disease alters the unique pattern of these VOCs, and dogs, with their extraordinary sense of smell, can detect these subtle changes with remarkable accuracy. We capture these VOCs from patients in surgical masks and send them to our labs, where dogs and tech can do their magic.
At Dognosis, we learn from the world's best olfactory sensor, a biomedical detection dog's nose, and how they detect the scent of disease. We analyze every breath and the dog's response to it with precision.
We track what the dog does. Sniffs, pauses, movements mapped in real time using Dognosis. Every motion means something.
With our DogSense wearables and our DogOS models, we go even deeper, analyzing the neurobehavioral signature as our dogs process scent.
We train AI systems to learn from the best scent detectors in nature and deploy our canine friends where they really matter, for early cancer detection in human beings. It's non-invasive, accurate, frictionless, and built to scale. It's a new kind of diagnostic, integrating deep tech with natural sensors.
Often the cure for cancer already exists. It's early detection. At Dognosis, we think dogs can be a lot more than pets. They can be partners in driving a revolution in diagnostics and the way we practice medicine.
That's half the introduction of Akash. There is more to Akash than the video that you saw. Akash Kulgod, he's the founder of Dognosis.
You don't need a second job. You just need to learn how to talk to AI. Let's be...
So that's Akash Kulgod. He's the founder of Dognosis. Akash is a UC Berkeley cognitive science prodigy. India right now is looking at a lot of prodigies. One amongst them is sitting with us. He's also someone who in 2025 was conferred as Foresight Institute Fellow. He's building Dognosis, the world's most advanced canine-assisted early cancer detection system, blending neuroscience, olfaction, and AI to transform healthcare. Welcome, Akash.
Thank you.
We also have Kawal Arora. He has a Tesla connection. He's also a musician. You'll get to know more about him as Adil converses with him. Okay. He's the co-founder of DesiLLM. Kawal brings nearly 2 decades of global tech leadership, including building advanced AI systems at Tesla. Today, he's on a mission to shape India's future in artificial intelligence with DesiLLM, creating large language models tailored for unique needs. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks.
The one person needs less introduction with this crowd is Adil by name, but then I'm sure the last time when you met him to what he is doing today, a lot has changed in his world. He's one of India's host of a leading marketing podcast. Adil, of course, today's moderator. He is VP at Hanker Rank, someone who is guiding today's conversation, and he is a veteran and has deep expertise in B2B growth. Adil, all yours.
ठीक है अब नाउ बेटा yes finally हो गया welcome everyone, thank you so much for coming. It's really fun having all of you around. Before we get into the panel, I think there are a few local celebrities that I'd like to introduce y'all to. Y'all have probably met them in the past if you've come to BeTCA earlier events. Some of you are familiar faces in the crowd. Some of you haven't. And these are the guys who are making stuff like this come alive. The people here, all of you who've come here, this is a tight-knit community of Belgaum who wants to see Belgaum at the forefront of the tech revolution. And if that is, then who created this platform? And who are they and what are they doing? So I want to call out those people, and wherever they are, stand up, raise your hand. We'd like to clap for them. I'd like to clap for them. Join in if you can. First, there's R.K. Patil, who's building a very cool company on embedded systems and all things tech. He's been at it religiously for the last 18 years. ये आदमी थकता नहीं है. Also because he's got... There he is, right behind you. Also, Amit, I call him by the veteran, by the way. I'm still young, I feel. So Vedant is his son, right next to him. I last saw Vedant, I don't know how many years back. But again, Vedant's on a very good career trajectory. He's studying engineering at BITS Pilani in Goa. I wonder if he chose the college because of BITS or because of Goa. If it was RK, I know the decision would have been why. Pretty sure Goa. But welcome both of you. Thank you for your efforts. Right next to RK is a very good friend of mine called Hitesh. Hitesh runs India's only cyber security company who not only does software but also hardware. The guy's got a 3-year income tax holiday from the government of Karnataka and India. How cool is that? Hitesh, thank you so much. Another very close friend of mine, I don't know, we've known each other, I think, Uday kitne saal ho gaye? 15, 20, 18 saal. Uday has been running the very popular blog all about Belgaum. What started out as a small blog is now Insta 100,000 followers, homegrown without a rupee spent on advertising. Very active following on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all the way. Uday, thank you. It is because of you. All of us are in touch about Belgaum and we know क्या हो रहा है. कुछ भी Belgaum में होता है, right? वो आ जाता है all about Belgaum पे. And that's so cool to see. Next up, we'll come to another gentleman I've had the privilege of knowing for a long time now. VK sir, you're right here, right in the front. Guys, I call VK the man with the Midas touch. Whatever he touches turns into gold. Whether it is Via Labs, whether it is his own oxygen company, whether it is a ton of investments that VK has and touches. So if you're looking for a mentor, he's the guy. Finally, one more person I'd like to call out, Ajit, who's conveniently sitting right here. He's building a phenomenal EV powerhouse from Belgaum itself. I hope you're going to get to see some of your products today. Not today. ठीक है, phone में दिखा देना. But Ajit's building very cool stuff. And he's worked pretty much across the country and then he's come back to Belgaum. So that's like the unsung heroes. There are a lot of them that I'd like to talk to you about. लेकिन ये अभी सामने हैं, दिख रहे हैं, मैंने कहा आपको introduce कर देता हूँ. With that, we'll get started with the panel. Now, these are folks we've recently gotten introduced to. So Akash and Kawal. Kawal is someone who has a life that I think everyone would have liked to have. He studied here, went to the Bay Area. Bay Area का मतलब San Francisco. After going to San Francisco, he calls himself a hired gun. A hired gun is like you hire someone as a consultant to do a particular project, and then you can quickly exit and do what you like. Now, because he's a musician, he plays the guitar, he plays drums, he plays the keyboard, and what have you. He used to do his own concerts, and he was part of 3 bands in San Francisco. So, work bhi kar rahe the, maze bhi kar rahe the, and now he started something called DesiLLM. Tell us a little more, Kawal, what the journey has been like. And now, where is Belgaum sitting in all of this? What's the connection and what's the way forward?
Okay. Thank you for the invite here, right? So starting with Tesla, that point in time, 2014, 2015, ML was just coming into the vogue, right? It just started, right? If you were in San Francisco, of course, you would see hoardings of ML. In India, you won't see anything. But that time, they were like fully on. So when you hear about Tesla and AI, generally you think automatic, self-driving cars, right? You think robots. But there is this entire back-end work, back-end processes that they have been using AI for quite some time. And that time it was just beginning to come into the picture, and I was lucky to be there to develop those systems. So what we did was in the field of preventive maintenance, right? Using AI. Now, the biggest problem then was that their batteries should not blow up, right? So how do you prevent there? They already had all these cars wired up, right? Now we had to do was take that data, put in our ML system, and figure out where things are going to go wrong. And sometimes they would even call customers, hey, you need to get your car in. And when they would come in, they would be able to do diagnosis. So this small thing, you would say, would save them millions in terms of not having to repair those cars. Now, same technology can be used across the board for manufacturing sectors. Now, one thing that I was made aware that in Belgaum, you have this huge manufacturing sector, MSME. I believe this tech can be used, but not been exploited yet. So anyways, that was journey over there. And then I came to India, and I took kind of a career break. And I wanted to, since I was exposed to ML, but I really wanted to get in, like really get in. And I did like 1.5 years of self-study. So anybody thinking about entrepreneurial journey, especially tech people, think about doing a bit of a research first, because that really helped me, that really shaped me. So 1.5 years of understanding, going deep into artificial intelligence, and also blockchain, right? So after 1.5 years came like 3 research papers, 2 patents, and 1 tech company that we got funded. So research is actually extremely important. And once you start doing research, you'll get plenty of ideas. But not only you'll get plenty of ideas, you'll get the wherewithal and the technology, or like the understanding, because as a tech founder, there is nobody above you. You have to make the final call. So whom you're going to call, right, if you're in trouble? So you have to know your subject extremely well, right? So anyway, so DesiLLM, the reason that we made this company, when ChatGPT came out, it was mind-blowing. Like, I never expected that, we would see such a, computer system that can be so intelligent. And in fact, it was like, we made this genie, and people are like figuring out, like, what to do with this genie. It was like, now we are doing research. For first time in human history, see, you as a technologist or as a software developer, you know exactly what is going to happen, right? With LLMs, you do not know what is going to happen. So you are actually now doing research on LLMs, trying to figure out what this genie can do. So my initial foray was using AI to develop a solution in Ayurveda. That's where I started off with. Now, what I found was these LLMs have tremendous bias like crazy. Like, I remember one model I was just talking to, it says, stop doing whatever you're doing, go report to a doctor. I'm like, are you nuts? I mean, like, so you see a lot of biases against Ayurveda, that's what I saw. And also, there is a lot of bias in terms of political. So that's why Elon Musk is coming out with his own LLM. So it's very left biased, if you will, right? So if I have to develop solution, I cannot develop solution on these models. It was just not possible. So we thought of starting this particular journey, wherein we have technology that can cater to India, right? And not be in, having that kind of biases. I mean, that was the start of the journey. It's been about 1.5, 2 years. So what we are doing is, see, we cannot develop the model from scratch as of now. So what we do is, we fine-tune models, right, to remove the biases. Plus, there's a whole set of technology that we use on top of LLMs so that we are able to build solutions which are not with those biases, but the solutions that we can actually deliver to the clients. For example, one solution like healthcare, we are able to do AI diagnosis, right? So you cannot mess around with healthcare. If you're saying, okay, this is the reason for the diagnosis, I need to be sure what is the reason. So need pinpoint accuracy. So that is what we have been able to achieve. I know people talk about hallucination with LLM, but our goal is to have pinpoint accuracy in AI with LLMs.
Awesome. I think that is really, really good fodder and context to start the conversation. I'd like to make this panel a lot more inclusive. So if you all have questions, you don't need to wait till the end. You all can jump in, just raise a hand. We'll get you a mic and we can ask right away. Now, for you all to think about that question, take a couple of minutes. I'm going to come to my friend Akash here. We'll ask him a questions. Immediately after this, if you all have questions, please raise your hand. I'll ensure somebody comes to you with a mic and you all can ask. We'll keep it very free-flowing. The goal is to make this unscripted, okay? And we'll try and stick to that promise. Akash, your story is pretty much like that of a science fiction novel. I say that because he spoke a little bit, Kawal spoke a little bit about healthcare. You're at the intersection of healthcare, AI, which is the buzzword of the day, along with that, data science and dogs. How did this come alive? You're a Belgaum boy who went to boarding school in Bangalore, and from there, you went off to UC Berkeley to study. Tell us what you studied, and what was that itch that you just couldn't resist scratching that has now turned into Dognosis, which is on the t-shirt that you're wearing.
Yeah, no, thanks. Thanks for the introduction, and it's great to be here. The mic's on?
Yeah,
Can
it
you
is.
hear me okay? So yeah, I'm especially happy to give the origin story of Dognosis here because it's actually in Belgaum where it really started. Late June 2021, when I was taking a jog in Double Road in Hanuman Nagar, that's where the idea for Dognosis came to be. So it's great to actually get to share it here, I think, for one of the first times. So I did study cognitive science at UC Berkeley. It's a blend of AI, neuroscience, and data science. The idea is just like the infamous metaphor of the 6 blind men and the elephant, to really understand cognition and how intelligence and these processes of intelligence come about. The way to do that is to approach it from an interdisciplinary angle. So like the 6 blind men all together understand that it's an elephant that they're touching. Through the different fields, we can actually understand what intelligence and cognition is. But the story with Dognosis started in June 2021 during the COVID pandemic. But it also actually started before that. So I like to often start my introduction with the fact that I was born to a family of doctors. There are actually 4 of those doctors in the second row right here. Both my parents, as well as my brother and his wife, are all doctors. There are actually 11 in the family now. So growing up, I always knew I didn't want to be a doctor. There were enough in the family, all the departments already covered.
How did the doctors take that though? Did anybody take offense? Is the question.
They were actually quite happy that someone was doing something else, I think. As I said, all the departments are already covered now. Though my mother is still unhappy that I don't have a PhD, at least. So I'm the black sheep in the family, no letters after my name. So I grew up in a family of doctors, and funnily enough, I also grew up in a family that really loved dogs. So there are 11 doctors in the family now. There are also 11 dogs. So we love dogs in the Kulgod family. And in the COVID pandemic, it's actually when this intersection happened, which blew my mind. My father was directing a COVID-focused hospital then, Lakeview. And at the same time, I learned that dogs were being deployed to detect COVID. So across multiple countries, they were working with dogs at airports, at stadiums, where the dogs were able to sniff out whether someone had COVID. And in one study, the dogs did it more accurately and before gold standard PCR, which was being used to judge the dogs. So the dogs were better than the yardstick being used to judge them. And when I came across that and started reading more of the literature, it turned out that this was a known fact for the past 2 decades, not just COVID, but multiple diseases. All of them have a scent, and just like dogs can detect the scent of bombs, they can also detect the scent of diseases. And that was a realization that never really left me. It hounded me for 4 years. And specifically, my question was, if the dogs are so good, then where are they in real life detecting diseases? Where are the COVID sniffing dogs in Belgaum, for instance? And the answers seem to lie in the fact that if you really wanted to deploy this at scale, you needed to understand the dogs, and it couldn't just be that they were a black box where we didn't understand what was going on in their minds when they detected disease, especially in healthcare. Like Kawal mentioned, that you need a certain degree of certainty and a certain level of data-driven quantification of the process. And having studied cognitive science, that seemed like the lens I could take to this problem, and I basically never looked back.
That's awesome. How cool is that, right? Who would have thought that we could have dogs at the intersection of solving one of the biggest problems in the world, and the fact that we'll have someone from a doctor's family who doesn't want to be a doctor, paradoxically, who will try and solve this problem. So amazing stuff, man. Congratulations. It's an amazing start. I can go on with a lot of questions. I have questions around the tech stack that both these gentlemen use. I have questions around how they plan to scale their businesses. I have questions around challenges that they have faced and how they're overcoming them. And then eventually, a little bit of Belgaum nostalgia to close that out. Would you like me to continue with those, or do y'all have questions that y'all are waiting to get answers from? It could be around their backgrounds. It could be around your entrepreneurial journey or problems that you're facing today. If you have one, give me a show of hands, or else I can proceed with questions that I have. One of the biggest things in entrepreneurship or pursuing your own career is never feeling shy. So if you have a question, yeah, so you got a question right here, Shirish. Can we get a mic to Shirish? Girija's on your way. Let's see, Shirish, what question? So Shirish, let's keep it short. And gentlemen, what we'll try and do is, we'll try and restrict ourselves to 30 to 45 seconds, because we want to get as many questions as possible and answer as many in the limited time we have. Shirish, go for it.
Thank you so much, Adil. So my question is, how difficult it is to build your own LLM? And what are the difficulties that you faced when you built one?
Brilliant question. Also, should people even attempt making an LLM or use existing ones? Because there are so many out there.
Okay. It's right now extremely difficult to develop your LLM that can be used in a production for a large-scale project. So what we are doing is we are doing a top-down approach. So we start with a particular use case, right? And we understand the problem. And first we use the most highest order LLM. And we have developed an in-house tool. We call it Prompt Studio. So we start from there, and we record all the interaction. And then we get data from that interaction. And then we use a lower level LLM and use that particular data to train. And now we've gone one step down with a specific use case. And then we go lower and lower. And one day, we can go to the point where we can develop our own LLM for that particular use case. I'll just take a little bit.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
I'm Googling prompt.studio, by the way, just to try and see. Is that the one, prompt.studio?
Promptstudio.dev.
Promptstudio.dev. So I was just trying to figure out, ye kya hai? I'm not distracted. I'm just figuring out what next question should I ask you.
So I feel the current LLMs are an overkill. We do not need, let's say if you're hiring a person, right? You don't need him to be proficient in Indian history, American history, law of America, Russian movies. I mean, right now you can ask LLM anything under the sun. But I just want to solve a simple problem like evaluate a 10th class student's mathematics question, for example. I don't need so much, right? So right now I believe you should not be developing your own LLM, fine-tune them, but I feel about 6 months to 1 year down the road, there is going to be an architectural change in LLMs. that is when you should start developing your own LLM. I'm just waiting for that to happen because right now it is very inefficient. Think of it as mainframe, right?
Yeah.
So you had mainframes,
Yeah.
and now you say, okay, let us try to build mainframe. Hey, wait, there might be PCs around,
Yeah.
right? And there might be mobile around. So just hold your guns. You know, Sam Altman said that, hey, you cannot build your own this thing LLM. Okay, fine. You keep your LLM with yourself. We'll come up with something else.
Yeah. I think just to kind of double down there, I use apps built on top of LLMs for building apps really, really quickly on the fly. If you haven't checked out yet, look at lovable.dev, lovable.dev. It's a very cool app. Whatever you want to do, it just happens in minutes and you can push to production in less than an hour. It's very cool. If you want to create your own app for completely free, there's something called bubble.app. So take a look at these. These, like he's saying, are built on top of LLMs and you can go from zero to scale very, very fast. Awesome. Thank you, Kawal, for that. Let's see. Do you all have more questions? Anybody else?
I will hear one.
Oh, yeah. Let's go for it.
Hello. So I had a question for you on like sniffing, like a dog sniffing the cancer thing. So a sub question was like, is it like has to be a same breed? Because I saw beagle, that's what you're experimenting with. And if a different breed also is fine, then are the patterns what you're recognizing in the beagle will be, could you use it for the same other breed too?
Yeah.
Give us your name, sir, so that we can address you back.
Sorry, I'm Ravi Raj. I'm from Viva Labs.
Awesome. Thanks, Ravi Raj. Go for it.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. It's one we get often. So the way we like to describe it is we don't need to work with a specific breed of dog. We need to work with a specific personality of dogs. And sometimes breeds tend to be a certain, have a distribution of personality. So our beagles, and we are a beagle-dominated team, they tend to be very independent-minded. So they don't care much about what the humans, us, think. I think if anyone has a beagle, you would probably relate to the statement, beagles really don't care much about what the humans are thinking. They're very driven, and that's what we want. We want our dogs to be basically following their nose, not following us, because we don't know what cancer is, they do. But we also have a dog on the team who's a half indie, half lab mix that we adopted from a shelter in Bangalore. And she's also great. She's actually one of the best dogs, better than some of the beagles. And there was nothing special about her in the sense that we adopted her when she was about 1.5 years old. And then in 10 weeks, she was already detecting cancer with quite high accuracy. So if it's the right personality, which is found across breeds, they can sniff cancer.
Raviraj, hope that helps.
Yeah, that helps. I mean, if you don't mind, I had follow-up question.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So it could say, you said about personality for the dog. So I think could it also be because it is surrounded by the same beagle personality? As in, I mean, how would you, like you could train a machine probably, but how do you train a dog also to detect the cancer itself? Like.
Yeah, so the way we train is on the surface level, fairly simple. And in some sense, it's not too different from how you train a machine learning model. So we use reinforcement learning, we pair a stimulus with a reward, and then iterate. But then when you get into the details, it gets really complex and nuanced. Because unlike a machine learning model, once the dog learns, it doesn't unlearn. And again, I think people with dogs can relate. Once a dog has learned something, that's it. So we need to be very careful with the data set we feed to the dogs and the way we're rewarding the dogs. But the same protocol that we have for one of our beagles is the same that we've used with the lab indie mixed. And we're then training our machine learning models to learn from the dogs. And there's a certain level of fine tuning. So we have a general model, and then each dog has their own parameters that we're using because each one is different. But that's a short answer to the question.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that answers it. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. I think the learning that I am seeing, especially after interacting with these two gentlemen, is that you can, it's not necessary to start in an area that's buzzing or thriving. Pick what you're passionate about and go from there. And from Kawal's history, you clearly understand he's very passionate about writing software himself, writing code himself. And then when he saw that LLMs are on gasoline. He said, I need to go and solve for bias because that is what appeals to me. And then here's someone who is very passionate about dogs, comes from a family of doctors and understands a few nuances there. And he was like, man, I can do this. So I don't think you should be constrained with an idea, but if you think that it's possible, absolutely, I think you can go execute it. I think we've got a question there. Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Pooja and I'm currently working in Daimler Trucks, Bengaluru. And I have a question for Akash. First of all, very good idea that like this Dognosis has come up. Like ideas as a person will get too many, and when we start working on them, we are held back through many of the self-doubts and few of the challenges. So I'd like to know, like, did you face some of the self-doubts or something, or would you like to brief on one of the major challenges as such, like when you are working on this idea? Thank you.
Yeah, so I think there was a fair amount of doubt on the path. Once the idea hit me, I was very certain that I wanted to work on the idea, but how to work on the idea was a question mark. So for a while after graduating from college, I thought, okay, this is a fairly technical, it requires a lot of validation, especially being in healthcare, it would need a lot of credibility. Surely I need a PhD to actually pursue this idea. And that's something that I sat with for a while. Before realizing, partly through going to different research labs around the world, and realizing that none of the people there, in some sense, were doing something that couldn't be done in India with the right set of people. There's nothing magical that's happening in a university lab that you cannot replicate. At least for what I was doing, there are some fields where you might need certain equipment. And I think realizing that it was an artificial constraint that I had in my head that only if you have a PhD can you do this, once that constraint was lifted, I think I realized I should just go ahead and do it. And I was also lucky to get an independent grant that was meaningful enough so that I didn't need to get a job to support myself. And it was also validation that, okay, you should go and pursue this. So I think external validation always helps initially. But then just realizing that a lot of the constraints we have are internal and not really present in reality. I think my mother would still like me to get a PhD, but overall I've realized that it is possible to do what I'm doing, and in some sense what we have now in our Bangalore lab, no lab in the world has. Dogs and a whole platform and a 25-team engineering team. So in some sense now, we can do the work at our lab better than any other research lab in the world. So yeah, I think self-doubt will always exist, but it's possible to get past it by realizing the source of the doubt can be internal rather than present in reality.
Thank you, Akash.
I'm curious to know, Kawal, what's your view here on the same question that Pooja had? How do you fight self-doubt, and how do you go crush it and then prove yourself to the world?
Okay, self-doubt is always going to be there, but I have two mantras. Mantra, I would say, like 2 words: research and himmat. You need to do your research and you need to have courage. The courage is the only thing that is going to take you through. But blindly doing something, it's not going to yield results. You should be passionate about the problem that you're solving, and everything kind of resolves itself. And sometimes external validation does help, right? Because I'll just give an example. See, our basic initial foray was to develop a solution for AI diagnosis in Ayurveda. But in order to do so, in Ayurveda specifically, they say that you need to have a reference to a particular samhita. That is the source of truth. And in order to get that source of truth, it was a kind of a tangent. So you have like these 7 samhitas in Ayurveda, about 18,000 shloks. So that's where we started, okay, how do we take this and put a kind of an E-form? So we developed this tech, and we were able to translate 18,000 shlokas into English and link it to the diagnosis. And said, okay, since we have developed this thing, why don't we put it in form of a book, an AI book? So we went to an exhibition, and everybody was more interested in that AI book than anything else. They were like, wow, we've never been exposed to certain things like that. Now it is so easy to read, to understand. You can basically talk to your Vedas. So that was the kind of an external validation, plus also the market telling you what is right now kind of people are more attracted towards. And lo and behold, like we have now, we are working on the first year syllabus in Ayurveda. Not only that, we expanded this education curriculum to include 10th and 12th, and we have something called Exam AI Guru. We just recently launched, and wherein a student can just answer the question on a sheet and take a photograph and evaluate. So one thing can lead to another. So this, I don't know, self-doubt, forget about that. Just go with your passion and things somehow it will resolve. It's a creative chaos.
I love what you said. When you said two words. You said himmat and you said research. एक और डाल देते हैं उसके अंदर जो शाहरुख खान का है, शिद्दत. Right? Like, for example, अगर किसी चीज को सच्चे दिल से चाहो, you know how the dialogue ends, right? It's like if you believe in it, it will happen. And Rumi also says, walk and the path will appear. So I'm fond of Urdu poetry. And when both of them were talking, it hit me and I can't help myself but narrate it to you. I don't know who the shair or the poet is, but it goes something like this. Pooja, I hope you understand Hindi. If you don't, we'll use Kawal's LLM to decode it for you. But it goes something like this. Rakh hausla wo manzar bhi aayega. प्यासे के पास चलकर समंदर भी आएगा. रख हौसला वो मंजर भी आएगा. प्यासे के पास चलकर समंदर भी आएगा. थक कर ना बैठ ए मंजिल के मुसाफिर. मंजिल भी मिलेगी और मिलने का मजा भी आएगा. So the point is, don't wait. Just absolutely, if you truly believe in the idea and you have that himmat, research, and Shiddat, absolutely go for it and you'll kill it. With that, we'll wrap up our first panel. Big round of applause for both our panelists, Akash and Kawal. They will be there after the formal ceremony today, and we'll get a chance to interact with them later as well. We will ask a lot more questions now to our second panelist. So thank you, Akash. Thank you, Kawal. Big round of applause. And Amit, you're going to do the honors for the second one.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure. Thanks.
As they walk down, some food for thought for us. One of the things that most of us, whoever you are, whatever you have done until now, and wherever you have reached, and especially for founders, okay, when I heard that question around self-doubt, there is one very underrated skill that most of us don't really think about. And these people have done it fabulously well. Your journey is always going to be like landing your flight in Delhi fog, where there is hardly any visibility. You know you're somewhere, yet you need to land. So they say the one skill that helps you grow is called gift with a different spelling. It is called GFIT. Go figure it out. And that's what founders do, because you don't get ready-made solutions. So thank you so much. A token of appreciation from BeTCA, Kawal, Akash. Sniff Akash out from there. Thank you so much, Kawal. Thank you. I'm going to invite the next set of panelists. Leena, join us on stage. Clap for Leena. There's one AB that I knew. That AB is in South Africa. We are inviting another AB. He is Allahbaksh. Okay. Welcome. And join us, sir. He is someone who kind of gives another empty seat from Akash. He loves dogs, he loves pets. We have Shekhar. He's someone who has his own pet care center. So I'm going to again invite Adil. Adil, we have more panelists now, more number of questions awaiting. And you can also ask them some of their own questions, some of their own personal things so that they get introduced. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we good? Awesome, awesome. So we've got our panel. Let me introduce Leena. Leena runs a very cool biotech company. What she's fond of on the personal side is cooking. What I am fond of on the personal side is eating. So I think the panel will be fun. But Leena, welcome. We've got Allahbaksh, fondly known as AB. Allahbaksh, for the last 2 decades, has been with Infosys. In December, he completes 20 years. How awesome is that? Now, along with that, on the fun side, what his passion is giving back to the community, and he's built an app through which you can scan your eyes and figure out if you've got cataract or not. So again, that app is doing really well. Thank you, Allahbaksh, for building it. Thank you for coming over to Belgaum. Thoda sa. And then on my left, we've got Shekhar. Shekhar runs a very cool pet care company. Not only a pet care company, we'll talk about it, it's also a pet hospitality company. Have you ever heard of a resort for pets? Have you ever heard of pets have you ever heard of, say if it's your pet's birthday, the pet parents going to the resort, checking it out 3 weeks prior to ensure that this will be a fun place for my pet to hang out on their birthday. That is something that he's building, and he's got a lot of experience in companies like Nokia, where he's worked, at companies like Bharti Airtel. He's done a lot of enterprise selling, and now he's come into the pet care industry for the last 8 years, and he's building it from the ground up. He enjoys football, he enjoys cricket. Welcome, and thank you for coming over. Cool. We'll get started with Leena. Leena, tell us a little bit about your firm. You were pretty much in corporate for a while. You did a lot of corporate roles, and then something flipped in your head a few years back. And then you said, I want to do something on my own. I want to go build a really, really cool biotech firm. How did that happen? What's it all about?
Hello, good evening, everyone. I think so I'm audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Good evening, all. And my name is Leena. I'm from Alfanzyme. I'm basically from Orissa, born and brought up in Belgaum. Prior to my entrepreneurship journey, I started as an IT profession and been working from last 10 MNCs in 10 different years. And once I came down to Belgaum, I just came to Belgaum for my maternity leave. And I had to deliver a baby in 2012, and 2013 I started Alfanzyme. And thing is, it was difficult for me to handle both office and family. That's the reason I thought to start a startup of my own. And we started Alfanzyme Life Science in 2013. But prior to that, Alfanzyme Group was already started by my husband in 2007. So I joined as the finance head over here. And it was a very difficult journey for me and struggling journey, coming completely from a corporate world, landing up here, going to government officials with the application for land or for any approvals for projects. It was quite difficult because initially when I was in corporate, it was very easy for us. Like we didn't knew much government officials. We only used to get our salaries on time, pay the tax, that's it. Government kya kar raha hai, kya nahi, kaun sa government hai, we would not bother about it. But once I came down to this, I exactly know what is life, what is struggle.
Yeah.
Then from the 10 years or 12 years, the journey from 2013 to 2025, lots of challenges, demonetization, GST, so many things came around. And then last but not least, the COVID. But thing is, I started my business with a flow. We started I just started with a business of 50,000 loan from one of my dealers. Now, I'm proud to say that by 2025, I'll be closing with 50 crores.
Whoa, how awesome is that? Think about that. She started with a loan which was 50,000 rupees, and now she's going to close her year with 50 crores in revenue. I think that should be the title of this panel. 50,000 to 50 crores. How awesome is that? Congratulations.
Thank you so much. But the journey was very difficult, Adil. And but we need to flow. We need to just go with the flow of life and flow of business. Many things came around, like my main vendors are my farmers. They are my main source of getting my raw materials. So that's the thing, like we have to just check the difficulties, what they are facing. And my clients are the high profile sugar factories. I have almost covered 200 plus sugar factories in and around Belgaum. And I'm also going international very soon. Thing is, my farmers needs the payment on time. But I get my payment after a year. So that is a big...
Working capital.
Yes, that was hampering a lot. So this is a struggle I started with.
Awesome, awesome. But thank you for sharing so candidly and transparently. It's really good to see that you brought in the numbers. You're sharing a real life challenge that you're actually
because I can
through
see
as well.
lots of techies over here. And they don't know the real life, real challenges what an entrepreneur faces.
Code ke aage dekho. That is what she's saying.
Yes. Because I've seen both the world. I've seen the corporate life. I've seen what goes on exactly with each and every MSMEs who are facing the problems. Either it be a startup. सब लोग बोल देते हम startup कर देंगे. But कितना difficult है?
बिल्कुल.
How to start? Are investors interested with you? No. They will not be interested unless they listen something from somewhere else that you are doing very good. So this is the way this was struggle I started.
Awesome.
And right now, Alfanzyme is a biotech company. Let me just introduce. And it is catering industries for sugar, distilleries, grain. And we are also into FMCG products, agriculture, textile, pharmaceutical, nutraceutical, animal health. And also we are into manufacturers of chemical-free jaggery.
Fabulous, fabulous. So guys, hold your questions for her. Hold your questions for Leena. We'll come back. I want to get to AB as well, and then we'll come here. And then we'll come back to Leena. So AB, 20 years of Infosys, आपने in a nutshell, if you were to summarize it in 60 seconds, 20 साल में आपने क्या सीखा? What did you learn in the last 20 years?
I think one of the big lessons which I learned in last 20 years is persistence. So it's persistence which pays off, right? I started as a person, like as you said, just a coder, right? I used to just say that, okay, my life was only the code which I write a research paper, I file a patent, that's done. Who sells it, what happens with it, I was not bothered. So things actually changed. I was then part of the, from the labs, I moved to the corporate tech, where I said, okay, we'll define the strategy for the corporates, what technology they should use, how they should grow. And there, I was given a project to actually launch an app. And it was like a team which was fresh out of the college, 10 people, and the app launch was supposed to be done in 3 months. And it was driven from the CEO's office. So we said we launched the app, and to my disappointment, the app got launched, and after 20 days, that project was scrapped. So I was like, okay, एक चीज तो भी production में गई, now also it's closed. So, but it gave me a lot of learning experience. Then I went to advanced engineering to see how you would actually start something hardware, because I was more software guy, right? So we built certain things, worked with the hardware. And then I moved to what I'm part of, Strategic Technology Group. There is what we learned a lot of stuff. So my manager and mentor used to say, unless what you build goes into a production and sees the life, I'm not going to actually talk to you. So that was his whole thing. So we iterated, and the way we used to do is, like, we used to pitch our ideas to him, and based on the certain criteria, he used to select those ideas. And then we used to build that, take it to the market. We had 3-4 successful stories on the SaaS platform from Infosys. Then this year, there was a program where they said that we'll incubate certain businesses. And there were 700 ideas which were submitted. I submitted our idea also, me and my team. And we were shortlisted as a top 5 funded this one. So we'll be funded again. It will run as a startup within the ecosystem of Infosys. So this is one part of my story. So in 2020, when I came back from Bangalore to Hubli when the COVID hit, so Infosys has a nice campus in Hubli, which was non-operational. So I was the first few people, like first 25 people who actually took a transfer to the Hubli. First day we were 25, 1st of August. Next day we were 3 people. And then there was a lot of persistence. We used to call people saying that, can you come to the office? And I used to often tell that even if we occupy 1 acre of a land per software developer, we'll be still left with the land. So that was the initial days, right? And now we are 1,200 strong. And we have started a lab, we have started a lot of new things in the Hubli. So the same thing I say, persistence. We are persistent, saying that we'll grow this, we'll actually bring technology here, we'll build an ecosystem that actually helped. And now if I see back, I tell my friends, you know what is Infosys Hubli? It's a well-funded startup where you have to just run the operations, you have to actually figure out how do you bring more business, but rest of it is taken care.
Awesome, awesome. I think persistence is the key word that he said. Lage Raho Munna Bhai is the title that's kind of coming to me in my head because I'm also a movie buff. Usme Dr. Asthana hai na? Yaad hai? Dr. Asthana Boman Irani Rose. He says when the students are about to graduate and Raju Rastogi, who's one of the characters, he said, sir, agar 2 marks se fail ho gaya to campus mein job milegi ki nahi. So he says, put your medal on the pedal and just go for it and you'll come out victorious. So persistence is important, but also keep shipping. I think priorities change of people, right? Like he said, when he was a young developer, the only goal was, does it pass the test cases? And so long as test cases pass and production does not break, you are a happy man. But then once you rise up the ladder, you need to ensure that the UI UX is okay, the tech debt does not come in really quickly, and you ensure that your tech stack is strong so that you can scale further. Now the priorities are completely different because he's moving to more agile startup-based ecosystem. So I think it's good to see that evolution in terms of real life. We come to Shekhar. Shekhar, yaar, you were doing something totally different. You were a hardcore GTM, enterprise GTM guy. And then from enterprise GTM, you said, I'm done with this stuff. I want to do something on my own. I want to get into pet care. Let's talk to the audience and describe what you're doing real quick. And after that, what are some core customer insights that you're getting today that are helping you fuel your business further? Hi, good evening. It's on, yeah.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Shekhar. While Akash is taking care of the entire tech perspective of the pet care industry, which you're doing an amazing job, buddy, we are doing something in completely non-tech part of it. So firstly, I am a technical illiterate, but I'm sitting on a dais which is full of technicians, so I'm trying to learn all the words which you're doing. So Akash, you're doing an amazing job from pet community, and we wishing all the best for whatever you're doing. Coming back to what Adil has asked, yes, about 15 years in corporate, quit the corporate, came back. There are 2 incidents will I talk about. One, I was in a family function where one of the friend was introduced to another gentleman, and that gentleman was coming from Bangkok. So from Bangkok, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking something else. So he told he has got some fancy stuff for his daughter. So I said, wow. So the dress should be really good. So finally, then after the discussion, we went to a side, and he said, it's for my daughter, Luna. So I thought, maybe some girl who's 5-year-old. Finally, he introduced his daughter as Luna the Husky, which is a pet, right? That was one incident which started striking me that, boss, people can go to Bangkok and get some fancy dress for them. And then the second was my sister-in-law is a dentist. So I was sitting in her clinic, and there comes a kid who is 12th standard, and her mom, his mom, sorry. And they were talking that, my kid is going through depression, and he's in 12th standard. So after every counseling, and finally the counselor had suggested that he has to have a companion. So I was listening to the conversation, and the companion came to be a bozo. Now there also the bozo was a dog. So these 2 incidents made me to think If a guy can bring a fancy dress from Bangkok, and if somebody can afford a pet as a companion, I'm sure there is something in this industry. So that's how a person who was an obedient pet to my wife decided to move into pet care industry. So that's how this core thing of starting the pet care industry started. Now let me ask, how many of you have pets in your family? I'm sure there is 11 which was there. Now how many of you love pets? See, so I'm sure if so many people are lifting your hand, let me give back you a little statistics about this. Earlier when we were kids, pet used to be used as only for security purpose, right? So that was one end. And I'm from Gokarn, which is a beach town, so when I moved to Bangalore, I should see a lot of these hoardings which is called as be aware of pets, right? So that was the second thing. A third thing was, people always used to say pet owners, right? That was the third thing. And always pet used to be outside your home. This is the fourth thing. This was when we were youngsters. But now let me tell you what happens. Pet are inside the home, inside the bedroom, and they have a special bedrooms. That is number one. People doesn't call anymore as pet owners, it is pet parents. People doesn't tell them for security, it is absolutely for companionship, right? So from this perspective, I said, why can't we become a hospitality brand for pet parents in India, while it has evolved in other markets. And that's how we started PetCart Nest in 2018, which was the first pet resort in India, right? Now, just let me give you, we have done everything apart from marriage for pets. We have done baby shower for pets, we have done naming ceremony, and every week we do 4 to 5 birthdays of pets. So as you rightly mentioned, I have an 8-year-old daughter. In these 8 years, I never went to any hotels to ask for how is the menu, what are the going to be things. Every day, people come back and ask about the menu, written gift for the other pets, not for the human beings. So this is in a nutshell. Maybe when you ask questions, I can tell you more.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing, Shekhar. I think what I've understood from 3 is, here's a story of Leena that comes from raw aggression and saying that there is this fire inside me where I need to prove myself to the world. I know it's hard, but I will overcome it, right? So that's where I see like this whole achiever's mindset. And then you go to AB, and AB is the whole persistent. मैं करते रहूँगा, I am Rancho, मेरा काम हो जाएगा. And that's where the Munna Bhai MBBS story or it's not, which one is that? Three Idiots wala story, right? Where Rancho from the movie says, ki haan, hum kar lenge types. And here is a story which is purely built on observation and insights. All three are extremely strong entrepreneurs, but if you look at behaviorally, how they consume data and insights and how they move is very different. And I'm sure that happens to all of us. We have different patterns and critical modes of thinking. So with that, I've got a lot of questions I'd love to ask them. I want to open it to you guys. Do you all have any questions? If you do, let's show a raise of hands, and I will get you a microphone. Yes, Girija, right in front of you, if we can get the phone. Ma'am, state your name, please, and then the question and direct it to the person you want to ask.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sheetal, and my question is to Shekhar ji. I'm not a pet lover to begin with, but my son is. I would love, like, if he starts something that he's passionate about, and I need to know how you started, what were the challenges that you faced, and any tip for a teenager who is pursuing his first year now, focused on becoming a CA, but what if I can just make him drop the CA and get into something he loves?
Well, I have not reached that level where I can give a lot of tips to people, because one thing that I have learned is my brother's friend, once I met him, like you were asking me this one, so he said, there are 3 phases of entrepreneurship. I'll answer your question, but before that, whatever I have heard. So he said, there is 3 10 years types, 10 years, the first 10 year, the next 10 years, and the last 10 years, So the first 10 years is learning, right? Just learning, Some will be fortunate, you will see the headlines that, valuation companies, exit happening. That is, I think, some exceptions. Otherwise, largely it is first 10 years is learning. Second 10 years is scaling, which is you learn and then scale. And the last 10 years is again learning, but it is lot of earning, right? So this is what I heard from them. So similarly here, if he's with this kind of a mindset, because it will take time. See, entrepreneurship is what we don't, see in the newspaper, right? That is only maybe 1%, not even 1%, 0.1% of what we hear. Remaining 99.9% is sweating. So if he is ready to up his arms, go to the field, and do anything and everything, then this is the category to enter, right? Because there are huge opportunities in the industry. Like I'm sure next year when you come here, and if you ask the same question, I'm sure these hands will go up multiple times. Because right now the pet care industry is in metro stage, right? And then slowly it will percolate onto the category A town, and then to category 2 towns, right? I'm sure there is huge opportunity across, whether it is need-based or aspiration-based. See, here there are two things. Either fulfill the need of the customer, which is the pet parent, or create an aspiration for them. For example, in Belgaum, I'm sure there is no pet cafes. Pet cafe is a buzzword in Bangalore. Bangalore is now pet cafe is like, you go to any corner and you'll get a pet cafe or a pet-friendly cafe. So similarly in Belgaum, I don't think there is a pet cafe. So tell your son, if he is really interested to sweat his stuff, this category is there to do anything, whatever he wants.
Yeah, means in any business you need to invest time and learning, that is there, but what specifically were your challenges when you got into it? Because I don't think so you are 10-year-old, you are only 8-year-old in this.
So see, challenges will be plenty, right? Sometimes I think challenges we have to swallow ourselves, right? Because the day 1 to day 10, right, there will be so many things. First, brand ideation has to happen, what he wants to do in this. Then he has to create a project sheet. Then he has to see whether there is a fitment to that in your, whatever you want to do. Then other things will come. Challenges will be always there. See, I'll tell you my challenges, if you want to know. We started with 3 founders, right? Within 6 months, we became 2 founders. In COVID, I became the single founder. So, I have signed a term sheet for fundraise, people have backed out. So, one thing which will keep you moving is your self-determination and patience. If that is there, I think you can solve everything.
Thank you.
There you go. Very, very real and raw insights. Any other questions? Perhaps from this side? This part of the crowd has been dominating here. Any questions here? No? Okay. Go for it. We've got a question right there. Yeah. Right behind you.
My name is Kaustubh and I work in Bosch. So here, my question is pretty generic. I mean, I'm not asking to some person or anyone can probably answer this question. So it is not specific to domain, but as I said, pretty generic. As I remember, maybe last week or so, there was a news that there was a lot of fund allocated to build a IT park here. So that was the news, what I believe. So you as an entrepreneur here, how do you perceive this information? So if it becomes reality, I don't know. I hope it doesn't remain just as a promise, but still, or probably AB to you also, because you are probably from Infosys background and you have worked there. So IT perspective also. So how do you perceive this information? What potential it has? If it really happens, or what opportunities we will get it here?
So first of all, any infrastructure upgrade to the cities would definitely improve the overall ecosystem, right? First thing which you need is people, right, which we already have, a lot of people here. The second thing is the infrastructure. So what IT Park does usually is it takes out the teething problem of setting up those infrastructure, like your electricity, your genset, your water, this one. So all those things are taken care already, right? So it is much faster for the startups to come, just plug it in, and then get started. So that's one thing. The second thing is, as you see that first, many people have this one that, people will not come and work in Belgaum, Hubli, Dharwad. And this is the thinking which is there in many people. And what I have seen is, and this is my experience, people who are young, they want to actually go, they want to go to Bangalore or Pune or anywhere else. But as they, grow up, or they will figure out after 10 years that some of them come back and then settle back there. So you will get talent which is of age group of 5 to 15 years, because after 15 years people will think, should I hire this talent for my organization? Because most of the people want to grow that talent. So we have a lot of people who are of age group of 5 years to 15 years, and there are opportunities which exist. This would actually make it much faster to grow this region. That's one. And the second thing which will happen, once you set up a park, it's not that large IT companies will come. The smaller companies will start operating, and that feeds to these large IT companies, and hence they come back and then they'll set up their establishment, right? And if you have a plug and play thing, it's like amazing, because then you can think, okay, I'll convert it into an SEZ, I'll actually have the STP parks and all those stuff.
Right? Thanks, sharing. Leena, you want to add something here? So, for example, Kaustubh's question is very relevant. You see something in the news, you see something around funding, you see something that could be potentially appealing to you. Follow-up question to you, it could be, let's say, around funding in your domain. Do you potentially get excited about that? Do you figure out a way to penetrate that ecosystem? Or do you say that it's a distraction, let me focus here, this is what I am doing? A lot of news events would have happened in your life over the last decade while you've tried to build your firm, from 50,000 rupees to 50 crores. Which were ones that you said, हाँ, इसका फायदा उठाते हैं, इस पे double down करते हैं, which were like, यार ये distraction है, इसको side में रखो. What's your perspective?
Yes. Initially, I was clueless how should I start. But usually, community helps you. The business community like BeTCA. We have Belgaum Chambers. We do have Laghu Udyog Bharati. These are the team, these are the group of people who educate, who train, and also help us to know what are the subsidies from the government.
Yeah.
And what are the rate of interest where you can put on your projects.
Yeah.
And what are the subsidies on the machineries which you're going to install.
Yeah.
What are the ways.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough that I got into these groups, and they showed me the right direction. And the good thing in Belgaum is, in tier 2 is, like we are able to access the DIC office or any government officials very easily and very quickly, where you can't do it in metros or tier 1 cities. So going there, showing a project, getting a project approved, they will help you with what all documents you require. Once the document has been cleared and once it's been approved, then we go ahead. Then again comes, I got to know a good thing, like I got a loan of around 50 lakhs from KSFC. That was again from this channel or this community. They helped me. That's the reason, as he said, like, how will you know that there's a park or there's a land availability in these locations? Once you keep attending these programs, there you will get networked, and you will know like what is going on around you.
So what you're saying is submerge and be a part of communities like BeTCA, where you have to stay involved, and oftentimes more than news, these people who have been in this sector, who've been battling it out like founders for years, they know stuff that is normally not accessible to the general public, and their real-time insights will really help you.
Yes, yes. We have to communicate. We have to come to different networking programs, as you all have come today. You will take a learning from here. Every event is a learning.
Yeah.
It's more than not like chai nashta and all, but just learn and take what you want to.
Lekin chai achhi thi aaj ke.
I haven't taken yet, but this is the experience which I faced in my years.
Cool. Thank you, Leena. We have time for one last question. Any question from the audience? We got one right there. Can we take the microphone? It's behind you, sir.
My question is kind of follow-up to the previous question on the IT park. I am Mahesh. I work at Oracle. So while we wait for a full-fledged IT park in Belgaum, maybe are there any co-work spaces available in Belgaum?
Are there any co-working spaces available from Belgaum? I don't know of. Do we have? I think who can take that answer? All right, Hitesh can take that answer. He's backstage. Hitesh, go.
Yeah, there are many actually. There's a couple of them. Come and meet any of us from BeTCA and we'll guide them to you. We are also, as BeTCA, as Gajendra mentioned, we are also trying to talk to a lot of stakeholders to bring more here. So yeah, there are many. Even if you don't find them appealing, many of us members of BeTCA would happily host you in our offices if that makes you happy.
There you go. So there's your answer. You feel like you don't have company, go catch Hitesh, chill out at Annex Gate, and he'll give you a very nice vada pav that you get near his office that I've had the good fortune to have. Speaking of vada pav, ये पूछ लेते हैं audience के लिए, how many people are vada pav people versus dabeli people? Because Belgaum is famous for both. Vada pav people, show of hands. कोई किसी को नहीं पसंद है वड़ा पाव? दाबेली people? अच्छा बाकी दोनों नहीं खाते क्या? हाँ? क्या पसंद है? दोनों? हाँ, फिर तो. Cool. One more question and we'll wrap this up. Any other final question? Yes, sir. Go for it. Can we get the microphone there?
Maybe question to you, Leena. We are in Belgaum. We are close to a lot of farmers. And here today we have a lot of technology people. In the field of agriculture or technology for agriculture, do you see any obvious gaps? Do you see anything missing that maybe someone today could take that idea and convert it into a 50 crore company perhaps?
Thank you for your question. May I have your name?
I'm Vinayak.
Yes, Vinayak. Now, Alfanzyme, I just want to say one instinct that with this AI world, with this drone world, nobody is talking about the fertility of the land. The fertility of the land is not as we used to have 20 years back in our childhood. You all are not finding earthworms right now. You can't see that. Means your land is not fertile. So, Alfanzyme, what we do is we go to the farmers, we take the soil from there and we test it in our lab. We have an NABL accredited lab. We test the lab and we go again to the farmers and we suggest them what they need to grow, what type of crops they need to grow. We educate them and we go for a buyback policy where we educate them and ask them to grow the crops and we buy the same crops and use it as a raw material for our products. This is the things how we are helping the farmers. And as I said, farmers are my father and mother, you can say. Because of them we are here. And any problem they face, we are here to help them and find the solution for their problems. Because there are lots of, and another applications we have introduced is waterlock, where during droughts, we usually have this waterlock, we take a 250 grams of water, it can hold. 1 gram of waterlock holds 250 grams. Means once it's locked, when you lock the land, in the summer season, it starts releasing the water.
Yeah.
Means it keeps the land moist.
Yeah.
So there are many such products which we help the farmers to grow. And one more thing is the sugar industries. From sugar industries, we have different around 250 plus products. One of them is ETP culture. That is a microbial culture. What we do is we consult the plants to use this. This is a wastewater management things which we use. What they do is they convert it and by using the solution, they change it into organic manure. And that organic manure is used for the farmers again. And because of that, now I have a chemical-free jaggery setup. My chemical-free jaggery, the sugarcane, is all from those farmers from where I'm giving my products.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Awesome. So Vinayak, long answer short for your question. I think she's saying the number of problems that exist are infinite. Which ones are the ones that you want to latch on to and then double down? And then no dream is impossible. Because I'm a Bollywood buff, another one. This is from Anupam Kher. Back in the day when I was a kid, there was a picture called Dil. I don't know if you all remember Dil. Very, very good one. Amir Khan की movie थी. उसमें अनुपम खेर बोलता है, हजारों जाते हैं तो करोड़ों आते हैं. तो scene यही है कि तुम हजारों डालो तो पहले थोड़ी. And then once you plow and you put the fertilizer in and you find your earthworms, watch the miracle happen.
Yeah, doing business is great, but we need to be careful and we need to take care of the environment because we have got many things from the environment, we have to give it back.
Yeah.
And our coming generation, they deserve to breathe healthy.
For sure.
So that's the main motto of our company, that to make it green. keep it clean and grow more green. Thank you.
Awesome. With that, let's call it a wrap. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for our fabulous panel. Leena, AB, Shekhar, thank you so much. Girija, can we invite you to hand over
Be there,
mementos
Adil, with
to all
everyone.
of them? Yes.
Okay. And Vinayak, something very important you might want to know. There is a research published by the government of India. This is something very startling for everyone sitting here to understand where is farming heading in India. Leena, I'm sure you are aware of this. Hands that eat are more than hands that cultivate. This is one big challenge. The second big challenge is wealth is not generated in villages of India. And until unless wealth is not generated in the villages of India, you will always see youngsters going for greener pastures. And if you go to any village of India today, you will only see old people working in the farm. If this doesn't change, we are heading for a catastrophe. This is a published research, and this is where community farming and all those who are willing to invest in tech, in farming, is going to be big tomorrow. We have Raju somewhere here. He's doing his job, and we are trying to adopt a village with the help of technology. If someone in Belgaum is willing to support us to adopt the village, more than happy, because if you create 5 entrepreneurs in a village, it's as good as having 100 in a big city. So that's going to be the future.
Awesome.
Adil, do the honors.
There you go. Cool, cool. AB, here you go.
Incidentally, I don't know, AB, if you are even aware, one AB that we now know is South African. There was an Allahbaksh from Belgaum who was a brilliant footballer. He also went on to test with Mohan Bagan. So, thank you.
Cool.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you, panel.
This was a pleasure having you all.
Back to you.
Thank you. And one round of applause for Adil for all his shairi that came up. So, you know, in the tech space or even otherwise, there are many dangers that people go through when they start their own organizations. One of the biggest dangers, not just in the tech space, anywhere in business, one of the biggest dangers is a bad idea. The bigger danger than a bad idea is a good idea that arrives late. We have Ajit, who is going to help us with the launch of some products that have arrived just in time. Okay. Ajit, all yours.
Okay, check. All right, so we started this section starting this year. We noticed that there were so many products getting launched from our own city, Belagavi, but not many could actually make it to the larger public as such. So I'll start with, we have about 3 product launches today, and all of the products are made, designed, conceptualized, and built here in India, here in Belagavi, by your own Belagavian. So I'll start with the first one. They say one man's trash is someone else's treasure. Looks like someone in Belagavi took the saying quite literally. So allow me to introduce Siddharth, who is making millions out of cash, out of trash. He is making cash out of trash. So before I introduce the person himself, I want to play a little video about his product.
ಅದೇ ಕಬಾಡಿಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಇವರು 40+ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾರೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಪೇಪರ್, ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್, ಮೆಟಲ್, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್. ಈ ತರ ಹಳೆ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರೇ ನಿಮ್ ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಕೆಜಿ ಲೆಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಹಳೆ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ಗೆ ಸೆಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಅಂದ್ರೆ www.kabadiman.com ಮೇಲೆ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮೇಲಿರೋ ನಂಬರ್ಗೆ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸ್ವಚ್ಛ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಕೈ ಜೋಡಿಸಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಿಗೋಣ.
So a big round of applause please for KabadiMan. He's helping to keep your house in order, at the same time the planet to please get up on the stage, and we have a small token of appreciation to congratulate you for the beginning of the product. Yeah, just too many things in my hand. Girija, please. Thank you. So, Siddharth, would you like to speak a few words about your product?
Yes. Hello everyone, I'm Siddharth, founder and CEO of KabadiMan. KabadiMan is a new age revolutionary recycling platform that solves India's $25 billion waste problem. Now, this waste problem is currently being handled by over 40 lakh plus kabadiwalas, scrap dealers, and waste pickers. Every single day, they face many challenges. They have to go through multiple lanes, travel 15 to 20 kilometers on foot many times, waste time, energy. If they're lucky, by the end of the day, they get barely anything, peanuts. Meanwhile, on the other hand, urban consumers like you and me have no clue what to do with our waste. We end up throwing it in our garbage, which ends up in the landfills, causing pollution and loss of economic resources. Well, this is no longer a problem because we have built this with love in Belgaum, and finally, I'm introducing KabadiMan, which is a revolutionary recycling platform that bridges the gap between these 40 lakh plus kabadiwalas and scrap dealers and connects them with urban consumers like you and me to enable on-demand doorstep waste collection and recycling service. You get fair prices for your waste, you get a recognition certificate, as well as brand coupons across multiple brands across the city, where you can get exclusive discounts just for being a KabadiMan customer. Who said recycling wasn't rewarding? Well, finally it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Siddharth. Thank you, Mike, man. Okay, I got one, don't worry. Okay, so for long, Belagavi was known for making automotive parts. Now, this time, we have taken a leap from making automotive parts to automotive products. Our next launch is an automotive product as a whole. The name of the company is Hoopoe Electric bike. And allow me to introduce Mahboob, the CEO and co-founder of Hoopoe Bike. Would you like to ride your bike right in the center of the stage for the people to see that this bike is completely designed, conceptualized, manufactured here in Belagavi, thanks to the metal man, as I would like to call the Udyambag people who have made this happen. A big round of applause for Mahboob for making this product a reality, a product completely built here in Belagavi. Cameraman, could you please zoom here? So, okay. Switch. A short video. Okay, a round of applause, please. Before I allow Mahboob to speak about his product, if any of you or many of you know, I run a company called Revolt Motors. We design and build electric scooters. Mahboob was my employee. So when I started 7 years back, when someone asked me why Belagavi, my answer was, why not Belagavi? A round of applause, please. My idea of starting the companies and running the companies I run here at Belagavi was to build an ecosystem to ensure that the employment stays here in the city, so that the people don't migrate to bigger cities for job. And he's a live example that I was able to produce somebody who could create another company and employ some more boys. So I was able to retain not just him, but few more boys he has hired. So that was the whole idea of how we started the company. And Mahboob, please take over. And go ahead. Check. Yes.
हेलो, थैंक यू सर। शुक्रिया सर कि मेरा अच्छा इतना इंट्रोड्यूस आपने किया। पहली बात तो ये है कि एक लीडर ही एक लीडर को डेवलप करता है। जब मैं 2 साल पहले रिवोट मोटर को ज्वाइन किया था, तो मेरा ऐसा नहीं कि ऑटोमोटिव बैकग्राउंड नहीं है, तो मैं 10 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है मेरे को ऑटोमोटिव में। बट मैंने एक स्टार्टअप ज्वाइन किया इनको, जो इन्होंने मेरे को बिल्ड किया है। मेरे को ऐसा नहीं लगता था, मैंने वहाँ पे सिर्फ प्रोफेशनल सीखा काम करना, लेकिन एक स्टार्टअप बिल्ड कैसे करते हैं, वो भी कोई रिसोर्स नहीं है बेलगाम में, वैसे जगह कैसे करना है वो इन्होंने सिखाया। तो पहले तो शुक्रिया सर उस चीज़ के लिए। और बहुत सारी ये गलतियाँ मैंने की हैं, रिवोट मोटर में बहुत सारी गलतियाँ की हैं, उनके पैसे भी मैंने बहुत खर्चे किए हैं गलतियों के। तो आज मेरा अगर
he learned so many things at my cost. गुरु दक्षिणा
मानता हूँ मैं उस
रिवर्स में।
तो मैंने कभी पूछा नहीं इनसे कि परमिशन, कभी मेरे को मिली नहीं है कि थोड़ा टाइम लिया तो चलेगा ना सर 2 मिनट
प्लीज।
तो कभी मैंने पूछा नहीं इनसे, कोई भी मेरे को अगर मंगाना होता था या ट्रायल एरर करना होता था तो मैंने कभी सोचा नहीं है। तो NX100 जब बिल्ड हो रहा था तो हमने बहुत सारे ट्रायल NX जो लिए हैं, तो हमको कभी इन्होंने एक बार भी पूछा नहीं। अब रही बात होपी बाइक की, कैसे आया कि मेरे को एक आइडिया है कि मेरे घर पे एक रियल प्रॉब्लम चल रही थी कि घर पे मेरे जो भतीजे हैं, भाई के बच्चे हैं, उनको बाइक चलाने की बड़ी शौक़ थी, बट लाइसेंस फ्री नहीं है क्योंकि अंडर 18 है, तो उनको बाइक चलाना है बट साइकिल नहीं चलाना है। तो मैंने साइकिल और बाइक का ब्लेंड बना दिया है, और ये पूरा बेलगाम में बना है A to Z, ऐसा नहीं कि पूरा बेलगाम में। और फरवरी में मैंने क्विट किया था, और मैं आज आपके सामने एक प्रोडक्शन लेवल पे रेडी हूँ। और मैंने लॉन्च भी 2 व्हीकल है वहाँ पे भी और यहाँ पे भी। ये है कि मैंने बुकिंग लेना भी शुरू कर चुका हूँ अभी, ऐसा नहीं है कि ये है कि आप मेरे काउंटर पे आके एक बार व्हीकल को देख लीजिए, बुकिंग ले सकते हैं हम। थैंक यू।
Alright, thanks Mahboob. So after the show, please take it for a ride. Brakes वगैरह है ना उसमें? हाँ सर। Yes, you can take for the ride. Okay, moving on. I'm sorry. So, Gajendra, please congratulate Mahboob on his successful launch. Thank you, Mahboob. All the very best. और 2-4 founders को पैदा करो. ठीक है. So, yeah. They say simplicity is an ultimate sophistication. So it's raining AI these days, whether it is the AI used in Dognosis, whether it is the AI in DesiLLM. I think burger bhi with AI milta hai aajkal. So here is AI sunne mein bada hi sophisticated lagta hai, and that's precisely the reason why our next product launch is trying to make the use of AI simpler for general public. So allow me to introduce Zen AI, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, who is actually trying to make use of AI to make social media marketing a lot easier for general public. Supreet, where are you? Okay, rush. So, yeah, oops. That's the product launch.
Our AI-powered ads management system automates and optimizes every step of your ad campaigns, from data collection to performance scaling, ensuring smarter decisions, faster results, and maximum ROIs. Zen AI. Automate, optimize, and grow. Your ads deserve it. Contact us today.
Please join your hands, claps for him. It's yet another product completely built out of Belagavi. Would you like to speak a few words about your product? Check, check. मुझे साइड में रहना है.
Hi guys, good evening. So what we've realized is a lot of small companies need to run ads, but you need a lot of data analysts, you need a lot of people with real good expertise to compete with, let's say, D2C brands that are running ads and doing crazy spends. So it's difficult to sort of get that level of expertise, and sort of retain them. So that is the gap that Zen AI sort of bridges. We bring in D2C levels of expertise, which can just plug and play with Meta ads, Google ads, Amazon ads. We're developing other platform for other platforms as well. And it does ad optimizations. Basically, it also figures out at what time your customers are most likely to shop. Let's say 8 p.m., 9 p.m. when they are lying on their couch, browsing the mobile after a long day, trying to shop a few things. But unfortunately, your best performing ad may be out of budget. Basically, your daily budget may have exhausted by 8 p.m. So our app basically ensures that your budgets do not run out on the campaigns and ads that have performed really well for that day. And there is a lot of, this is just like the top level of what the app does, but then there's a lot more built in to ensure which ads get budgets and things like that. So that's what the app does. Thank you.
Check. Okay. Thanks. Congratulations, Supreet. You can keep it here. So in a nutshell, he's built a product using which you don't need to hire a marketing professional. The AI will take care of all of your budgeting for the different platforms and so on. Okay, so Uday, why don't you come? So congratulations, Supreet. A big round of applause for him, please. Thank you. So finally, we have the last product launch. And, okay, sorry. Switch. So this is the product of BeTCA. So there's no founder for this product, but we have a team who built this. So we built a bot, again, an AI bot. What it does is it helps you, one, to find out if and what are the subsidies, schemes, grants, or all of the government available benefits and facilities for startups working based out of Karnataka or India otherwise. That's how it started, but it also helps you find out if there are any companies, tech companies in Belagavi which can take care of your tech problem. So you can actually go to the bot and type, I'm an XYZ trader, shopkeeper, businessman having this particular problem. Do you have somebody who can fix this here in Belgaum? When you hit enter, it is going to be trained with all of the BeTCA member tech companies, and it will throw you with solutions and the company details who you can again connect with. So the idea came through after a last dinner meet with the industry people where people didn't know who to approach when they have a tech problem. This is where it is. I have a small task for you people. Please log into this website called betca.org and ask this question to the chatbot. Would you like to do it for me, please? And tell me what is the answer you get. Give it a try. It's okay. sound? Did anyone get the response? Nobody? Internet is slow? बोला था मैंने. Okay. So basically the reply is, the question is, which city is the best city in the world to start a big tech company? And the response comes, Belagavi city. Please. Next year, we want this reply from ChatGPT. अभी तो हमने कोड करके डाल दिया. अगले साल हम लोगों को ये रिप्लाई चैट जीपीटी से चाहिए एंड वो कैसे होगा आप लोगों की बदौलत होगा. सो as far as we have people like what we are doing here, we'll keep trying to build things like this. I think this is something which is not so common outside of Bangalore, but we are trying to do this here. So yes, that's all I had for today for you guys. Thanks for your time and listening to me patiently. Over to you, Amit. Little claps for me. मेरे लिए Thanks, Amir.
Thank you, Ajit. Ajit, on a lighter note, one of the anxieties of a founder is hope that my app doesn't crash on the day of demo. Because when you said, go try, half of them were breathing uneasy the other side. Okay? And hoping Belgaum comes up there. Okay? Our hopes will come true. It started small, but Belgaum will be on the tech map. It is already there. It will be big soon.
Amit,
The reason I say that?
I just forgot to mention. So, see, the entire bot is built by one of our BeTCA patron, DesiLLM. They did this. Please, a round of applause for
Kawal.
the team, Kawal and Savita. And where is Amay? Ajinkya Technologies. Okay, so the team working with Amay, they integrated the entire bot system into the website. मेरा काम तो था सिर्फ PDF देना उनको. Thanks.
There you go. So something that happens when disruptions happen. Okay? Whenever disruptions happen all over the world, new businesses emerge. That's not the only thing that happens. What you need to know is, when disruption happens, wealth changes pocket. It's there in somebody's pocket today. It can be yours tomorrow. Thank you, BeTCA, for making this happen. Thank you to our sponsors. Big round of applause to our sponsors, Storycast, Aksha, and YOL Labs. The reason I took YOL Labs as the last name is because I'm going to invite RK, who heads YOL Labs, to propose the vote of thanks.
I think so. Before that, we have something for you. Thank you for being here and making this event. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks once again. Okay, the last part. Before you guys go and hit a high tea, I think so there is some good eatables. I can at least smell it. I'm not a part of a Dognosis, so, but okay. I'll not take much of your time, but thank you one and all. I know I shook hand with many of you here. So the highlight of today is we have somebody who is 15 years, and then we have somebody who is almost at 75-ish. Okay, so that's a breadth. And each of them have an interest in technology, and they are all from Belgaum. This is the 4th edition of this event, And this is one of our flagship event when we try to do from the BeTCA side. One thing that we have tried to bring a change is the entire event today's what has organized is not a team which was responsible for the first year or the second year. So we are developing leaders and we are handing over. Okay. And probably next year, even I'll not be on the stage, there will be somebody else who will be proposing a vote of thanks. And if you can do it successfully, and if this team can grow, and that will be the best success for BeTCA team. Again, once again, thank one and everybody here who came here. There are people who have come from Hubli, Mangalore, Kolhapur, Sangli, Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai. I think so. I'm trying to remember whom and all I met. Okay, thank you for one and everybody. And we believe you are our biggest ambassadors. When you go and talk outside, there is going to be a more positive response. And this is how this ecosystem will grow. Please have a tea, and there's a good amount of snacks. And spend time here at your snacks booth. That's where you will meet more people. You'll shake hands with many number of people. And that's where the connections build. And that's going to benefit Belagavi. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, RK. So, two things that we need to do is I'm going to invite all the BeTCA members on stage, because you need to know who were those people behind the stage. We also want to take a picture of them. We don't take picture to publish. We take pictures for attendance, so that know who was there for this session. Can I invite all BeTCA members on stage, please? Rush, you have 30 seconds to be here. If not, 25 push-ups. Adil? Adil? All BeTCA members? So as we arrange ourselves for the photograph, Kawal did mention, if anybody wants to develop a similar bot for their business for marketing effort, please reach out. They'll help you. We'll invite all the panelists also. Be here, BeTCA members. Be here, be here, be here. We'll invite all the panelists. Thank you all. Our panelists are here. Please meet them. Yeah. So you have enough time for networking with people. And do meet each other, find some new opportunities. Thank you all.